Hi, welcome to .NET Concept YouTube channel. I'm Rahul, your host. In this video, you will learn about try, catch, and finally block. So let's start it. So I have opened a Visual Studio and creating a new project. So this is a console application. So here we will learn about try, catch, and finally block. So I'm naming this application as demo try, catch, finally console. Okay, app. So let's create a project. Let me change the location. Okay, it's taking some time. Okay, now let me write few codes here to start with. So in this video we will learn about how the try, catch, and finally block works. So you can add three types. You can add blocks in three ways, like try, catch, then try, catch, and finally, and third one is try finally. Yes, try finally. Okay, so let me write few stuff to start with. So let's write try, then catch. Okay, and finally. Okay, so in try block, let's write console, then just right line. I mean try block. Okay, let's write catch block. Same way I can write console, and I'm in catch block. Okay, same way I have written it for finally block. So just it is to see like in which block we are. Okay, and console dot read line here. Okay, this is just to stop show the console. So let's build it and see what is the result. Okay, so now you can see that we have print two blocks. Okay, try and finally, because there's no catch, because no error has been encountered, so that's why no catch block is there. Okay, now just create a class and put it. So I'm writing a class, let's say test class, and there I will put this code. So let's create a method. Say public, I'm returning something, so public int and test method. Okay, so here I can just put this code. Okay, now let's create a variable and initialize it to 0. So int x is equal to 0, and now we will use this variable in our blocks. So let's say x is equal to x plus 5 and return x. Let's leave it. We'll use return later. Let's see it as it is. and in finally also let x is equal to x plus 10. Okay, and here I will return x. Okay, I just cut the console not read line and I will call it here and I will then put it. So let's call this test class and object is equal to new test class and call the method. So int y is equal to object dot test method. Okay, so now y will carry the value of whatever test method returns, and now let's put here console.readline. Okay, now just build it. Okay, let me reorder this thing. Let's print value of x so that we can see like what is the value of x and all the things. So value of x is equal to x. Yes, now it will show whatever value it is changing, so it will show here. Same way I have put it in finally block. Okay, just write it in finally in catch. Okay, and now let's print the value of y as well. The value of y is equal to y. Okay, so now build it. So you know that value will be like initially it was x, then in try catch it will be x is equal to 5, then finally it will be x is equal to 5 plus 10 is equal to 15. So remember that finally blocks should call every time. It calls every time in spite of like if try catch is running or you encounter a error in catch block, but finally will call instead of every time. Okay, let's see the value. So here you can see x is equal to 5, then x is equal to 15 here, and y, the value of y is 15. So it was as expected, because in finally block it is 10. So because finally block also runs, so value is 5 plus 10 is equal to 15. Here it is. Okay, and the same way you can see the value of y, because we have put return at last, so all block will run try and finally, and it will return the value. So that's why you can see that y is equal to 15. Okay, so here you can see that y is equal to 15. Okay, now let's do some changes and see what will be the result of it. Now let's put return in try catch, try block. Now what will happen, that we know that finally block should run again, but function will return after once try block is run. So ideally it should not go in finally block, because in we are returning in try catch in try block only. But as we said earlier, that finally block run every time, so even if you return value in try, so finally runs. So same you can see here. So let me scroll there. So you can see in try block value of x is equal to 5, because initially it was 0, then 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. Okay, and in finally block also you can see the value of x is equal to 15, because x plus 10 in finally block. Okay, and now y will be 5, because it returned the value as 5 in try catch try block. So the value of y will remain 5, but it has incremented to 15 in finally block. So here you can see this block should call every time, that we have already said earlier. Yes, return if you return from try block. Okay, now it seems good. This block should run every time, even if you return from try block. So I think you are clear, very much clear now. Okay, let's do more changes. Now let's call this method again, and we will see what is the result now. So we have added one more variable z. Okay, and we want to see that what will be the value when we call this method second time. Okay, so now in this block you can see that the value of z was same. Now let me do some changes. Okay, now let me remove this x and put it public, global. Okay, now x is global, so this method will run and it will store the value in x. So now you should see different output this time. Okay, now let's run it, and here you go. Now you can see the value as x is equal to 0, then to test now value of x equal to, it will be retained. Okay, because now x is global, so initially x was not global, so it was running same value, but now as it is x is global, so it will retain the value. So as you can see here, that initial value of x was 5, but in next call value of x is 20. Yes, so let's see one by one. So now y is equal to 5, because y is returning when we have returned from try block. And so let's look at in second call. So in second call x will be 15, then y is x is equal to 15 plus 5 is equal to 20, so that you can see here. Okay, the value will be returned is 20. So value of z will be 20, but if you'll see in finally block, because it runs every time, so it will be, me right here, will be 20 plus 10 is equal to 30. So here you go. In finally block you can see that value of x is equal to 30. So I think you are getting clear picture now, like how it is running. You have seen two ways. I mean, we return in try, and first one was that we return at the last of method. So both way value will be different, and in both scenario your finally block runs. So now we did some changes, and now you will see different output here. Here you go. So now you can see that now x is equal to 30, because this is the value what has been returned from finally block. So it is returning x equal to 30 after finally block. Okay, so here I'm writing value is 30 because we have removed return from try block. Okay, and this is return calls after all blocks. Okay, so far it is clear. Like now it is 30 because we have removed return from try block, and it will be the final output from try and plus finally block. Okay, thank you.